everyone. Thank you very much for coming out. It's a wonderful day here, and I really appreciate you attending and coming to our event here and being able to be here for the awards that we're going to give out today. I'm very glad today to be joined by Girl Scouts representing various troops within the city of Sunnyvale. And at this time, I'd like to ask the Girl Scouts to come out and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Hello, my name is Sophie, and I will be leading you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. That was great. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, thank you very much to the Girl Scouts. I'd like to recognize a few people that are here today. Superintendent of the Sunnyvale School District, Dr. Ben Picard. Okay, so we got Ben in first with the clap. How about I'm going to go through this whole list of names and then we'll do all the clapping at the end. Is that okay? We've got Sunnyvale City Manager Deanna Santana, Sunnyvale City Attorney John Nagel, Sunnyvale Assistant City Manager Kent Steffens, Sunnyvale Assistant City Manager Walter Rossman, Sunnyvale Police Chief Fan No, Director of Library and Community Services Cynthia Borregas. Now you can clap for Cynthia right now because she's responsible for this whole event that you see right here. Director of Community Development Trudy Ryan, Director of Finance Tim Kirby, Director of IT Kathleen Foster, Director of Nova Workforces, Chris Stettleman. So now if you can go ahead and give everybody a big round of applause. Okay, I'd like to recognize some former council members that are here. Former Mayor Pat Castillo, and you guys can clap these individually along the way. Former Mayor Melinda Hamilton. Former Mayor John Howe. Former Mayor Otto Lee, and I believe it's his 50th birthday today. Former Mayor Tony Spitaleri. Former Councilmember Chris Moylan. Former Mayor Julia Miller. Now you have to get this one correct. This is former Mayor and current tax assessor Larry Stone. Boo! Okay, thank you all for being here. I have one other elected official I'd like to come up. He was supposed to be joining us here on the stage, and that's our California State Assemblyman, the Honorable Mark Bertman. So we're going to go ahead and let him have a comment or two here.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Well, I'm Mark Berman. I'm the new Assembly member in the 24th Assembly District. Very proud to represent the city of Sunnyvale. And thank you, Mayor, for the new pin with the new logo. Sunnyvale is the largest city in my district, and I'm happy to be here to hear more about the state of the city and what's been going on. Currently, the legislature is in the middle of our summer recess, so I've been attending a lot of events. It's been good to be back. It's been good to be back. I spent the first 6.5 months almost completely in Sacramento, and I miss being home. So it's nice to be here today to learn about the issues that my constituents care and are passionate about. And I'm particularly excited to let everyone know I'll be hosting a coffee this Monday morning at 8 a.m. at Coffee and More on Murphy Street in Sunnyvale with our new member of Congress, Ro Khanna, as my special guest. My staffer, my senior field rep, Leslie Bulbuck, a Sunnyvale resident, is in the back somewhere on the side. There she is. And Leslie has flyers for the coffee if anybody's interested in attending, and I'd definitely love to see everybody there. Come and chat with me about issues that you care about or want to learn about what's going on in Sacramento. Thanks again for the opportunity to say hi this morning, and I'll turn it back over to the mayor. Thanks.
So again, I want to thank everybody for being here. It's really a pleasure to see you all come out. It's a fabulous day. And it's really, this is an opportunity where the city of Sunnyvale gets to show itself off a little bit with the various things. So after we're done here, please make sure you go out and visit all the different booths we have. A very large aerial map of Sunnyvale hangs on the wall of the mayor's office. It hangs in a conspicuous spot next to the desk. And I think a wise person placed it there intentionally. That's because when I sit at the desk, I am drawn to the map and I ponder it regularly. I notice how the streets thread together, connecting the neighborhoods. I notice how streets are near each other, how neighborhoods are close to parks. I think about how certain intersections have changed over the years. More than anything, though, I appreciate the aerial perspective, the macro view of Sunnyvale that it lets me have. How it lifts my view above the ground level and reminds me to consider how my decisions will affect the city as a whole. It reminds me how we're all interconnected and how small or incremental actions and ideas can be leveraged into bigger ones that have broad, long-term, and positive impacts. We are fortunate in Sunnyvale to have many significant examples of this, and let's start with one of the biggest feats of the year. Sunnyvale has accomplished the single most impactful step we could take in our climate action plan to reduce carbon emissions. We did this by leveraging the collective action and taking a leading role in forming the Silicon Valley Clean Energy Group. And I just want to take a moment here and thank Councilmember Griffith, former mayor, for the fantastic leadership that he provided in making that happen. I don't think it would have happened without you being here. So let's give him a hand. Sunnyvale is now one of 12 local communities that own this new agency. This enables us to pool our electrical demand and buy clean energy directly from the source. We're now encouraging more growth and competition in the energy marketplace and providing our residents and businesses with new, clean, and competitively priced energy services. I'm also proud to join my fellow council members in demonstrating our commitment to curbing our emissions by approving the Green Prime option for the city's own energy needs, which means our energy use is 100% renewable. I was out at the mayor's conference earlier this year in Washington, D.C., and I was at an energy section on this. And the mayor, one of the mayors leading that, was talking about they wanted to try and get to 100% clean energy in their city in 2035. We did it in 2017. You should all be very proud of that. Now let's move from renewable to recycled. This past year, Sunnyvale's partnership with the Water District and Apple enabled us to install a recycled water pipeline underneath Wolf Road. Was the traffic tough during construction? Yes, absolutely it was. But you all endured. And by leveraging our partners' joint investment in this key segment of the pipeline, we secured Apple as a major customer for our recycled water and continued to build the infrastructure that will help conserve our scarce potable water supply for us for the long term. Of course, traffic is on everyone's mind these days, and we continue our focus on transportation initiatives both locally and regionally. With our assistance, DTA's design work to reconstruct one of the most challenging intersections at Matilda 237 and 101 is now 50% complete. Not only that, our staff recently piloted intelligent transportation system technology at this monster interchange. And wouldn't you know it, this small pilot has had big results. The traffic flow improvements caught the eye of Google, and we worked with them on a partnership where they are now funding additional staff in our transportation team for the next 5 years to accelerate key projects that we have. Of course, we all know that transportation projects need a lot of funding, and we continue to stretch our own dollars with grants. Over the last year alone, the city has been awarded 23 grants, leveraging $3.5 million of the city funds into $23.5 million total that could be spent. These funds will help pay for projects such as traffic signal upgrades, bike and pedestrian improvements, and pavement maintenance. We also collaborated regionally with other agencies to make the case for much-needed transportation funding, which resulted in the passage of Measure B. And I want to thank everybody out there that voted for this very important measure. We're now working hard to make sure key projects in Sunnyvale are shovel-ready so they're considered first for Measure B and other funding sources. These include grade separations for Caltrains and the expressways, modernized systems, and pedestrian and bike safety projects. Of course, roads are infrastructure we see every day, but the infrastructure we don't see is just as vital, such as our water treatment plant. Our city staff operates this complex industrial facility around the clock to ensure we meet regulatory requirements and protect our bay waters. But this aging facility needs to be rebuilt, and so we've taken on the largest capital improvement project in our city's history to do it. Not only is the project expansive in its scope for the next 20 years, it is also bringing great ideas to fruition. Partnering with experts in this field, we're exploring new ways to meet our energy needs with byproducts generated at the plant and the neighboring smart station. We are looking at new treatment technologies to stay ahead of emerging and stricter regulations, and we're evaluating treatment options that would enable us to increase our recycled water production. This massive project is truly a model for long-term planning and sustainability for the city of Sunnyvale. Capital projects like these certainly come with their challenges, but Sunnyvale is no stranger to challenges. Take affordable housing, which is one of the biggest regional challenges facing local governments and our communities today. And I'm very proud to say that Sunnyvale has long been recognized as a leader in this area. Much of this can be attributed to the steady stream of funding we've been generating since the early 1980s through our housing mitigation fee program. This development fee has incrementally raised millions of dollars that the city has put towards affordable housing developments. In fact, since 2001, the city has provided nearly $33 million in locally raised housing mitigation funds to preserve or rehabilitate more than 400 affordable rental units and to develop almost 400 new units. As of the beginning of this year, we have nearly 2,000 existing affordable housing units and nearly 5,000 new units in the development pipeline. That is. For example, just this past year, the beautiful new Onizuka Crossing and Parkside Studios development were completed on the site of the former Sunnyvale Armory. And last month, a developer broke ground on the Edwina Benner Plaza, named after Sunnyvale's first mayor, and who, by the way, was also California's first female mayor. Let me repeat that. Sunnyvale had our first mayor was a female, and the first one in the entire city. It just shows how Sunnyvale's been innovative its whole time. These housing developments are giving lower income and formerly homeless people, families, and veterans a stable, long-term home of their own, close to many job opportunities, great schools, and other local amenities. And with every project like this, we are steadily providing more real, long-term housing solutions for some of the most vulnerable members of our community. Of course, no matter where you live in the city, you want it to be safe. And the positive relationship between our public safety officers and our community continues to ensure that Sunnyvale is and remains a safe city. We took that partnership a big step further this summer with our first ever Public Safety Youth Leadership Academy. Supported by grant funds, this 4-week academy enabled 24 Sunnyvale youth to learn about skills ranging from leadership, team building, and goal setting to fitness, nutrition, and digital safety. Again, what started out as a simple idea grew into city, school, and community partners coming together to make a difference in the lives of these young people. Just listen to what one of them had to say at graduation. I know this academy has helped set a path for me. No matter where I go in life, and for that matter where my peers will go, these lessons will be carried with us. I've loved my time at the Leadership Academy. Thank you to all the parents, teachers, and classmates. This love of learning and partnership with the community to ensure our youth succeed are also central themes for our work to build the Lakewood Branch Library and Learning Center. Originally intended as a branch library only, we are now exploring an idea with the Sunnyvale School District to create a joint use facility at Lakewood Park. This would not only be a joint use library, but a facility for community meetings, family-focused recreation, technology training, and lifelong learnings. We already have a very successful model of this at the Columbia Neighborhood Center, and we are hopeful that we can partner again to develop another unique and beneficial facility that will serve multiple community needs. And I think you're going to find through the rest of the event here today, you're going to see a very strong theme that talks about our youth and how important they are and the things they're doing in our community. And it's exactly the spirit of collaboration that makes Sunnyvale so successful. This is bearing out with the Town Center project that has shown remarkable progress through our partnership with the new development team and their commitment to our vision of a downtown that is a dynamic gathering place for living, dining, shopping, and entertaining. Tremendous work has occurred behind the scenes to update agreements and prepare the site, and we are now seeing visible construction activity. At the developer's groundbreaking ceremony last fall, we all cheered when they began tearing down the steel structures next to Macy's that had symbolized the stall project for so long. Interior work for the residential units on Tafe Street has been underway for several months. Scaffolding is now up to complete the exteriors and get the units ready for rent in late 2018. Crews are feverishly working on Redwood Square to make temporary improvements and reopen that area to the public this fall. And there will be a new two-story building on the corner of Murphy and McKinley Avenues with the Whole Foods Market on the street level and a multiplex movie theater on the second floor. Finally, we're going to once again have a movie theater in our downtown. The developer will announce this national movie theater chain very soon, and this project is scheduled to break ground later this year and open in early 2019. STC Ventures, the development team, is here at the event today. I encourage you to visit their booth and learn more about the project and its new name, City Line Sunnyvale. You can also provide input onto the proposed permanent improvements for Redwood Square and proposals that will come before the City Council in August. Finally, I'd like to close with what may be our most heartwarming accomplishment of the year. Thousands of children in our community have disabilities that make it difficult, if not impossible, to play with other children on our playgrounds because of the way playground equipment is designed. With this in mind, a young Sunnyvale Girl Scout named Esther Lucas made an impassioned plea to the City Council to pursue an all-inclusive playground in Sunnyvale. The first of its kind is in Palo Alto and was designed and built by the Bay Area founders of the Magical Bridge Foundation. An all-inclusive playground is meant to serve all members of a community, with or without special needs. The design of the playground and its equipment account for people with autism, cognitive challenges, visual and hearing impairments, and physical limitations. This playground is truly amazing, and I'm delighted that the City Council approved a partnership with the Foundation earlier this month to build the third Magical Bridge playground right here in Sunnyvale. The city has already committed an investment of $1.8 million, and Magical Bridge has now begun the fundraising necessary to design and build the playground and give Sunnyvale an amazing focal point to our upcoming Fair Oaks Park renovation. I know I'm speaking on behalf of the entire council when I say that we are so proud of this opportunity, and even prouder of the young Sunnyvale resident that encouraged us to pursue this idea. That's right. All of these examples prove that the spark of an idea or a simple action could quickly grow to something much more through the power of collaboration and partnership. It often takes just one person with one idea to get the ball rolling and truly make a difference in the lives of so many others. Our new city logo is designed on this very concept. The city is a stable and secure foundation that supports the energy and dynamicism of our diverse community that is accomplishing so much through collaboration and partnership. I hope that you'll join me in thinking about the aerial view and taking into account the wants, desires, and needs of all of our residents. And perhaps you'll ask yourself how you can foster the type of change that will positively benefit all members of the community. It's certainly why I decided to serve the residents of Sunnyvale and why I'm so proud to call this great city my home. So thank you all again for coming out, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the event. So now I get to be done. So we're going to move on to a very special part of today's program, the Community Awards presentation. I'd like to invite this year's recipients to come up and take a seat on stage. I don't know what's happening right now. But all of you that are award winners, please come up. This should have been in the script that they told you. Here, there's some steps in the back here. Just fill in the rows. You got to sit somewhere. Have a seat. Recognizing and honoring the people. Here, Dick, you can wait. You can wait. You get called up later. Recognizing and honoring the people who make our community a special place has been a Sunnyvale tradition for almost 40 years. We began this tradition in 1981 with just a single category, the Distinguished Residents. Over the years, we've added new awards that allow us to recognize people, organizations, and businesses from many facets of our community. I know I speak for my fellow council members when I say that it's truly an honor to be able to give awards to these winners here. And fortunately for us, we didn't have the challenge of selecting them. That tough task falls to a committee of previous community award winners who recommend their choices for this year's recipients from so many wonderful nominations. So first, I'd like to thank the committee for their excellent work, as well as acknowledging everyone who was nominated. I'd also like to encourage all of you out there to nominate people for future awards. I'm sure we all know someone who is making a difference in our city through their time, talents, and commitments. And it is important for us to take the time to recognize their achievements. And with that, I'm going to introduce Councilmember Nancy Smith, who will make the first presentation. And after the last presentation, I will return and announce the Mayor's Award of Excellence.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thanks for everyone who came today. Our first award is for Outstanding Community Volunteer of the Year, which is being presented to Valerie Suarez. Valerie, would you join me at the lectern, please? Valerie is a... We'll put this here, and then I will give it to you at the end. Great. So we're all queued up. That's wonderful. So Valerie is a true neighborhood leader. When I heard she was getting the award, I went to a prominent search engine on the internet and looked her up. And I only found one article about her. And do you know what that tells me? That she is a humble person who works behind the scenes every day. She does everything she can to make life better for everyone in our community. 21 years ago, in 1996, Valerie moved to the Snail neighborhood. Snail is the neighborhood association called Sunnyvale Neighbors of Arbor, including La Linda. And soon, she was finding ways to give back to her new neighborhood. She organized neighborhood events like National Night Out. She helps produce and distribute the monthly Snail newsletter to 1,400 households every month, like I said. She takes the lead in organizing the annual Snail Community Yard Sale, which includes coordinating volunteers, cashiers, and the hardest part, finding the cleanup crew. She is currently in her second term as the vice chair of the Snail organization, and she serves on the board of the Sunnyvale Neighborhood Association. And as if that weren't enough, she wants everyone to be safe in case of a disaster. So in 2012, Valerie received the city's community emergency response team training to help her neighborhood be better prepared in case of an emergency. And since then, she later became an emergency response team block captain and often prepares disaster. She also offers disaster preparation orientations in both Spanish and English. Her dedication to serving others extends beyond Sunnyvale and beyond the Snail community. She helps with the classic bicycle tour put on by the Lions to raise money so that the Lions can provide 150 or more eye exams using their mobile screening clinic to check for eye problems, diabetes, and other issues that young people have. She sorts food at the Second Harvest Food Bank regularly, and she volunteers at a shelter for women who have faced domestic violence. So that's not even the stuff that was in the paper. What she was in the paper for was that she is a tireless advocate for the homeless in our community. She volunteered with the shelter team at the Sunnyvale Armory, and she served there the very last night it was in operation. Now she serves food and recruits volunteers for the Sunnyvale Cold Weather Shelter. And she's been at it so many years, she can't even remember, but it's been at least 16 years, probably more. When the shelter stayed open late, earlier this year, it was open an additional month, food ran low on a couple of occasions, and Valerie found alternative ways to make sure that nobody went without a meal. She organized other volunteers to go to the store and pick up supplies, and she took up a collection for pizza. She also advocates at the county so that the county can provide year-round services to the homeless. For her community spirit and dedication to improving the lives of her neighbors and people throughout the entire region, I am pleased to present Valerie Suarez as Outstanding Community Volunteer. Please welcome my colleague and former mayor, the Honorable Jim Griffith, to the podium as he presents the next award.
Thank you very much, Nancy, and I want to start by thanking Cynthia Bajorquez, Dan Wax, Jim Stark, and the rest of the city staff for putting this wonderful event together, and also for choosing to locate it right on top of a Pokestop. That's really important to me right now. Our next award is for Distinguished Resident of the Year, which is being presented to Mike Klein. Mike, would you join me, please? Mike is a well-known face in the Sunnyvale community. As the beloved MC for our annual Sunnyvale Community Services Holiday Auction, he not only entertains the audience, but he also strongly encourages them to give to this crucial nonprofit, something I've personally experienced. But it's not just his stage presence that inspires us. Behind the scenes, Mike is involved with just about every facet of the Sunnyvale community. He's been active for many years with the Sunnyvale Rotary Club, serving as its president from 2004 to 2005. Mike has participated in Rotary programs to provide food for the hungry. He's organized school supply fundraisers and winter coat drives for the homeless. Mike is a member of the Sunnyvale Chamber of Commerce and an active member of the Sunnyvale Presbyterian Church. He has organized events to engage local seniors, and he's led church youth groups. When his sons were young, Mike coached their sports teams and devoted numerous hours to leading the Boy Scout troops. His sons have grown up and moved on to college, but he continues to support youth sports and events. And something I can personally attest to, Mike has worked on multiple initiatives and programs to improve Sunnyvale's schools. My favorite was seeing Mike dressed in a giant bear costume for our annual health and fitness fair at the Columbia Neighborhood Center. Mike's dedication to Sunnyvale encourages others to get involved. He has set an example for the young people he has coached and mentored, and he inspires us to pitch in. For his generous spirit, dedication to his community, and his ability to inspire civic engagement, I am pleased to present Mike Klein as our Distinguished Resident of the Year.
No, it's actually closest to the speaker. Probably in a little bit. I'll have my guy go up there with you.
And our next award will be presented by Councilmember Michael Goldman.
Do I get up? Okay. Well, I'm new to all this, so I didn't prepare remarks, but I didn't really feel I had to. This is for the Outstanding Educator of the Year. It goes to Miss Pamela Cheng, and I particularly wanted to give this award because Miss Cheng was the third grade teacher for my son, and every grade report, every single one, it had my son's name. Modan is doing well. He has a challenge with his friend Timothy, meaning that Modan and Timothy were like always talking and never getting anything done. And I was surprised, not surprised, but pleased to hear that she went from being third grade teacher at Cumberland to being principal of Lakewood, where she has a very diverse community of beautiful children, and she is doing wonders with them. She's working. They have yoga. People coming in teaching wrestling, which, if you know little grade school kids, they need some outlet for their energy. Anyone who's taught in the schools, even for a few, month or year or whatever, knows that they're like little popcorn, pop, 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 all over the place. Well, my little popcorn kernel and Timothy, honestly, we kind of were despairing. They are now both tall, handsome young men. My son is transferring from community college to UCLA. Timothy is transferring from community college to UC Santa Barbara. And we all to our third grade teacher, Ms. Cheng. And sorry she's not here so I could tell her, but I can give it to her father. I forgot. Russ Melton, great council member, good friend, is going to give the next one. Thank you very much. Sorry, Russ.
Thank you so much, Mike. I'm here to present our next award, which is to Outstanding High School Senior of the Year, which is being presented to Rachel Hildebrand. And Rachel, can you come join me at the podium, please? So Rachel is joined today by her dad, Bill, her mom, Sharon, and her friend, Brian, right here. Welcome, welcome. A few words about Rachel. In Rachel's 4 years at Homestead High School, she pursued a wide range of interests that could have led to successful careers in many fields, but it turns out that long before high school, she already knew her calling, which is pediatric medicine. Yes. Rachel has wanted to become a pediatric oncologist since, as a third grader, she read a book about a girl with leukemia. She dreams of becoming a doctor who can help her young patients know life beyond hospitals. As she planned for her career as a doctor, Rachel also proved talented in many other disciplines and showed that she's extremely hardworking and unafraid to take on new challenges. She maintained academic success while excelling at many other pursuits. Rachel played basketball during all 4 years of high school. In her junior year, she played varsity badminton, her first time playing the game. She was a member of the Future Business Leaders of America. She jumped into journalism with both feet during her freshman year when she became sports editor for the Epitaph, the school's well-regarded newspaper. 2 years later, as a junior, she became editor-in-chief of the paper. Rachel's passion and aptitude for journalism was so great that Homestead High School principal Greg Giglio confesses to some shock when he learned that Rachel dreamed not of becoming a journalist, but a pediatric oncologist. While she was editor of the Epitaph and playing on the basketball team, she was succeeding in Homestead's most challenging science courses. She also devoted time to volunteering at Lucille Packard Children's Hospital, where she would try to brighten the days of children receiving treatment. For her determination in taking on new challenges and for her enduring commitment to helping others, I am pleased to present Rachel Hildebrand with the award for Outstanding High School Senior. And now it's my pleasure to turn things over to my colleague, Councilmember Larry Klein. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I have the honor to present our next award to the Outstanding Businessman of the Year, which this year is being presented to Joe Antuzzi. I'm afraid that Joe had a previously planned and much needed vacation scheduled for today or for this week, and so won't be able to be here. Instead, I just wanted to say some words about Joe. Downtown Sunnyvale is a brighter, more vibrant place because of Joe Antuzzi. I've known Joe for years, and pretty much anyone who goes to downtown will sooner or later meet Joe Antuzzi. His smiling face can always be seen on the streets of Murphy Avenue, and if you haven't visited him, you will sooner or later. Just as his Italian restaurant Il Postale has been a mainstay of our historic downtown for more than 20 years, Joe has become an integral part of the downtown business community. We have seen him move from his old Italian restaurant from the old Sunnyvale post office, which that's where Il Postale comes from, to the new location on South Murphy Avenue. Joe was the founder of the Sunnyvale Downtown Association, and in nearly the 20 years he has served as the association's chair, he has advocated for his fellow businessmen and led a variety of efforts for the city to showcase the downtown businesses. He played a key role in helping the city develop and implement the downtown specific plan so many years ago. It's a blueprint for reinvigorating the downtown area, and you're now seeing the results of that. You're seeing real change happening downtown, and I encourage everyone to go visit downtown and see what's happening. As a member of the committee that created the Downtown Business Improvement District, he's continued to sustain the vision for what a downtown community aspires to be. Joe has helped create some of the Downtown Association's best-known events, including the Sunnyvale Summer Music and Market Series, this very popular Wednesday night series is celebrating its 19th year and is an amazing thing. And we have still 5 more Wednesdays to come downtown. If you haven't been there, you still have plenty of time to go visit. Joe works with the city to produce many of Sunnyvale's best-known events, from the holiday tree lighting to the Magic of Sunnyvale, Wine Stroll, to the Pet Parade, and of course the Jazz and Beyond music series happening Saturday nights in downtown Sunnyvale. So come on downtown tonight and hear the music, hear the jazz. It's a great time for everyone. Joe gives his creative energy and volunteers his time endlessly to make sure that each of these events are a big success. Joe has also given back to the community. For many years, for more than a decade, Joe has volunteered at Sunnyvale Community Services' annual holiday fundraising auction, giving his time and giving his food to such a great cause. For many contributions, he's helped to make downtown Sunnyvale a more vibrant place, and I'm pleased to honor this icon of downtown Sunnyvale with the award today. Mike Johnson of the Downtown Association will be accepting the award in Joe's stead as this year's Outstanding Business Person of the Year award of the year. I want to thank Joe Antuzzi. And next up, I want to bring up the Honorable Vice Mayor, Gustav Larson.
Good morning. Our next award is for Outstanding Environmental Achievement, which is being presented to Principal Anita Lee on behalf of Cherry Chase Elementary School and Assistant Principal Lori Carlson on behalf of Cumberland Elementary School. Principal Lee and Assistant Principal Carlson, would you please join me up here? And I see we have some of our zero waste champions as well. Thank you. Cherry Chase and Cumberland Elementary Schools have taken local zero waste efforts to a new level with food scrap recycling programs in partnership with the city. Their work has drawn the attention of other organizations hoping to replicate their success. The schools built on a pilot program that was implemented in 2016 at Lakewood Elementary School, and this school year both Cumberland and Cherry Chase each collected an average of 1 ton of food scraps per month throughout the year. Yes, very impressive. And by collecting these food scraps, they kept that food out of the landfill where it would produce greenhouse gases like methane, which is a very powerful greenhouse gas. So instead, these food scraps will be repurposed for animal feed. Groups of students volunteered to train in the food scraps program and took responsibility for maintaining it. Once they learned the program, these students, called Zero Waste Champions, they trained their teachers, administrators, and their peers. And that's an important point. They trained their teachers. I understand this was a very student-driven initiative, and the teachers were basically keeping up with the students. So great job, guys. Yeah. So the students created their own training material, and at Cumberland, the students wrote and performed a special assembly to introduce the program to fellow students and explain the idea of zero waste. At Cherry Chase, the students' efforts included creating a training video, developing a work schedule, and helping Vargas Elementary and Fairwood schools launch food scrap recycling on their campuses. So you see the pattern. This is spreading throughout the city. There's a lot of excitement among the students and the parents that I've talked to of bringing these programs to more and more schools. Cherry Chase and Cumberland schools have used the food scrap recycling program as the foundation for promoting the larger concept of zero waste. For example, the schools encourage the use of reusable water bottles, utensils, and containers at lunchtime and also at school events. Cumberland and Cherry Chase students' work has helped the city developing a model that is easily adaptable for other schools and organizations. And not only that, this model has worked so well that the Environmental Protection Agency, that's the US EPA, has contacted the city about plans to incorporate the learnings from this program into a national webinar for K through 12 students. Yeah, this is going national. So for their exemplary leadership and commitment to environmental advocacy, I am pleased to present to Anita Lee and the students of Cherry Chase Elementary School and Lori Carlson and the students of Cumberland Elementary School with the Outstanding Environmental Achievement Award. Congratulations.
I just got a blast of music in the ear.
And let's see how it's off. We'll do one. Yeah, why don't we try to why don't you guys come over and scoot back over here?
Going now.
Yeah. No, why don't you guys we're all going to do one big one.
Even better.
You moving out of place. Okay. More to your left. Your military left. All right, look over here, please. 1, 2. Thank you.
Come on. This is our chant that we hope you all take away with you. Ready? Don't shout too loud. It's a microphone. 1, 2, 3.
Reduce, reuse, recycle.
Is that soft enough?
Great job. Thank you. So our next award is for Outstanding Contribution to the Arts, which is being presented to Gail Cornelison and Susan Earle of California Theater Center. And Susan is accepting the award on their behalf today. Susan, would you join me at the lectern? Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
So we'll put this down here. So in the great tradition of Silicon Valley startups, Gail Cornelison started the California Theater Center out of a garage. I think we can think of a lot of startups around here that started that way. And like many longtime Silicon Valley institutions, the company touched countless lives. But this company's product is both intangible and priceless. It is inspiring the love of arts in our community's youth. Gail and the company's administrative director, Susan Earle, led California Theater Center for more than 40 years before ending their long run this summer. The company drew about 55,000 people a year to the Sunnyvale Community Center Theater for performances of family-friendly plays and musicals. The company helped to introduce 3 generations of Bay Area children to the performing arts, with shows adapted from Shakespeare, Dickens, folk tales, and Greek myths. California Theater Center also developed original plays for young audiences based on the lives of historical figures, such as the Apollo astronauts or the groundbreaking African-American baseball player Jackie Robinson. Those sound like pretty cool productions. In fact, they're so popular that children's theater companies all around the country continue to perform many of these plays today. So these plays live on nationally. California Theater Center's shows were a destination for local school field trips, often providing a child's first experience seeing professional theater. They gave some students a chance to see a play when they might not otherwise be exposed to the arts. In addition to the hundreds of performances a year, California Theater Center offered workshops and camps that helped local youth build skills in acting and leadership. Some students would go on to perform in the company's professional productions and gain experience for a performing arts career, while other students gained confidence for other future endeavors. Although the company's focus remained on young audiences, California Theater Center also brought imaginative productions of classics and new works to adult theater goers each summer with their Sunnyvale Summer Rep series. Gail and Susan dedicated their lives to educating young people and passing on their love of the arts. For the inspiration they've sparked in generations of youth, and for the meaningful experiences they've shared with so many audiences, I am pleased to present Gail Cornelison and Susan Earle of California Theater Center with the award for Outstanding Contribution to the Arts. Thank you. Well,
Thank you so much.
yes, and let's move over here for the photo. Fortunately, I didn't need that because I know I am inviting the mayor to return to the lectern. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So first of all, let's go ahead and give all of our award winners a big round of applause again. And I mentioned earlier that, I thought you were going to be able to see a theme, and you can see the theme of what goes on with the youth in the community and the level of involvement they have, the commitment that they're showing to our community, and I think showing how they're going to be some of the future leaders of the world that's coming before us. It's my turn now to announce the Mayor's Award of Excellence. This is now the time for Sunnyvale's tradition for me to announce the recipient of the prestigious Mayor's Award of Excellence for 2017. This name is going to be added to those of previous awardees listed on a plaque in the City Hall. And Dick, it's time now here. It's my honor to be here today as your mayor and announce with great pleasure and gratitude this year's recipient for his years of committed community service to Sunnyvale, a longtime resident, business owner, commissioner, volunteer, Dick Smith. Dick, would you please join me up here?
The first time I came up, I wanted to be sure I could get up that step.
Dick is receiving the Mayor's Award of Excellence due to his decades of personal commitment and service to Sunnyvale and our community. I'm going to go through some of the organizations that Dick has contributed to as a leader and member. Sunnyvale Planning Commission, I was a member of that. Sunnyvale Personnel Board, I was a member of that. Chair and board member of Leadership Sunnyvale, I've attended that. Volunteer and donor to Sunnyvale Historic Society and the Heritage Museum, I'm a lifetime member of that. The Sunnyvale Rotary Club member for 48 years and president for 3 terms. Maybe later. Not yet. My wife won't let me sign up for anything else right now. Sunnyvale Elks Lodge, life member. Sunnyvale Moose Lodge, life member. Sunnyvale Community Services, volunteer. Sunnyvale Chamber of Commerce, former member. I could go on. This list just has pages. It's just a sample of some of the things he's been involved in. But I think his impact is better reflected by the fact that how he's been engaged as a business owner and volunteer directly in our community for over 50 years. He's been continuous with his public service, spending his time and energy improving our community and people's lives. Dick first arrived in Sunnyvale in 1970 as a graduate of UC Berkeley and lived here with his wife Donna, I think is here, and all these years raising their 2 daughters. He's been the owner-operator of Wyant & Smith Funeral Home and Crematory until he retired in 2008. Besides helping people in their time of need, Dick has felt compelled to always help people during other times in their life. Dick has felt blessed with his own life and has wanted to share with others the wonderful things he has experienced. For example, next time you visit Sunnyvale's Heritage Park Museum, check out the one-of-a-kind mural that Dick and Donna sponsored. This custom design art showcases Sunnyvale's history. Dick continues to be a valuable volunteer at the museum and in many capacities. Dick has unselfishly volunteered his time, friendship, humor, advice, money, and thousands of hours of direct service to thousands of our residents. Dick's contributions to Sunnyvale have been significant. In 2015, he was awarded the Murphy Award by the Chamber of Commerce, an award that is given to the finest in our community. Dick Smith has given so much to Sunnyvale: his time, his humor, kindness, compassion, his leadership, energy, friendship, and he deserves our recognition for the impact he's had on our community. As you mingle in the crowd today, people can tell you how Dick Smith has touched our lives living in Sunnyvale. He really is a community hero, and I think it's really reflected by the fact that as soon as I said his name, everyone stood up and started clapping for him. They just recognized intuitively right away. He's always been willing to help someone in need. And if you haven't met Dick yet, you're one of our newer residents, after the event here, please introduce yourself. It is for these reasons and many more that it's my pleasure to honor Dick Smith with the Mayor's Award of Excellence in 2017.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor and City Council. And
here, into the microphone.
Tony Spinelli for picking this up 4 times for me today.
Here, into the microphone.
Yeah, appreciate it. Well, you know, a man's success, some of you have heard this before, but a man's success has a lot to do with the woman he chooses to have in his life. And that woman happens to be here. You just saw her stand up 49 years. She's put up with this. Donna, thanks very much. So, anyway, Mayor, thank you very much. Council members, this is a real honor, always remember. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you very much to Dick, and congratulations again to all of our community award winners. Let's give another round of applause to all the winners. I just want to say it's a real opportunity and wonderful to go ahead and recognize the people here. But let's not forget, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of volunteers, yourself, that are people that are out doing things out in the community every day. We don't necessarily get to recognize them, but when you see somebody out there doing something and being helpful and doing something positive in our community, make sure you go over and say thank you to them. They're not out there looking for thank yous, but I know it'll really make a big deal to them if you go ahead and recognize when you see it happening. So this is going to be concluding the recognition portion of today's program. Before I go any farther, I want to go ahead and I want to thank all the volunteers and staff that have gone ahead and put this event on here today. This is listed as the Mayor's State of the City event, but I can tell you I didn't do any of this stuff you're seeing to coordinate and put this stuff together. I really want to thank you, Cynthia, Alicia, and Dan. They're the key people that really went ahead and put this stuff together. So let's give a big round of applause for all the volunteers and staff. I also wanted to go ahead and remind people that coming up this Tuesday is National Night Out. This is a place where people can get out in the community, see each other, and get to know your neighbors and stuff. So think about that and try and get out on Tuesday night to see your neighbors here on National Night Out. I hope that you're going to continue to stay and enjoy all the many activities that we have here. There's really, truly something for everyone. We have magic shows, a comedy show, a hula performance that's going to be up here on stage. We have a family fun zone over here with face painting, henna art, sports activities, inflatables, and much more. And I will say the face painting is not just for the kids. I want to see it on some of the adults as well. Many of Sunnyvale's community partners have joined us this year to share their great work they're doing here in Sunnyvale in ways that you can go ahead and get involved. I got to get myself ready here. And the community people are right out here behind you. There's also a Connecting with Your City zone that's over here on the right-hand side where you can have the opportunity to learn more about the city's big projects and programs like the launch of the new food cycle program. You can also explore the city's new website, learn more about Sunnyvale's new brand and logo, and participate in the interactive survey on the Civic Center Master Plan and the Public Art Master Plan. But the best way to find out about the details is to download the free app onto your phone. The app's pretty cool and it's easy to use, and it'll help show you what's happening today. There's even a game where you can go ahead and you can win points by doing things like taking a selfie or getting a picture with a council member. So all these people want their picture to be taken up here for what's going on. So once again, I want to thank everyone for coming out, enjoying. It's a beautiful day here. Thank you for being here to recognize these community award winners and stuff. And thank you very much for being here. Thank you for living in Sunnyvale. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.